"How are you doing?" she whispered. "I don't know whether I'm going to be able to have any more kids." Pops's voice filled the corridor. "We don't know for sure now, do we?" But in that moment, I was mad. I wanted to ask him why he thought he had the right to comment about my uterus, but I bit the words back. It was triggering. It hit a nerve in me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is having a great day. And I want to discuss chapter 7 of Jill Dillard's book, Counting the Cost. A lot of eye-openers in this particular chapter that she named Dying Inside and Out. In this chapter of her memoir, she goes into the details about how strong the IBLP influence was in her family and how the matter of fear was placed in their minds over the power of faith. Jill describes a day where she went to the hospital to visit a friend of the family who just had a baby, and she saw her parents there. She said she was a bit surprised. She explains that it was great to see them on a safe ground. Her friend whispered, "How are you doing?" And at that period of time, Jill hadn't told anyone about the extent and complications from her birth with her second son, Samuel, but she felt comfortable enough to share it with her friend. Jill replied, "Kind of, but it was rough. I don't know if I will be able to have more kids." With her dad across the room, he responds to Jill's comment and says, "We don't know that for sure now, do we?" She said in that moment she was mad. She wanted to ask him why he felt the need to comment on her uterus, but she bit her tongue. She said that was triggering for her because her feelings were invalidated and fixated on the desire to have multiple children. Jill said that she always felt guilty for not having more kids because it went against how she was raised, even though it was a decision she and Derek both agreed upon. Jill explains that she was taught that even if doctors told her not to have any more kids, a godly woman should question the professional's opinion and trust that God would protect her. She was also taught that most people who stopped having children after doctors' advice were using that as a cop-out. The IBLP's view was that people with small families were lazy. Feeling overwhelmed or stressed out was only a cop-out. An only acceptable approach would be to leave the decision up to God, and He would provide the grace required to cope. Jill also says that living with fearful thoughts was like living with hornets and garter snakes. This further validates, in my opinion, the reason Jessa, Joy, Jedediah, Joseph are having babies back to back. Now, let me get this straight. There is nothing wrong with having kids back to back or having multiple children, 10 plus, how many ever you want. But it's the thought and meaning behind it that bothers me. They are taught that if you try to prevent having multiples, you're losing your faith in God. He will carry you through everything that you're going to go through if you have multiples. This is the craziest set of guidelines and principles to follow. And although Jessa and Joy have openly claimed that they do not follow the IBLP any longer, they still will carry on that same fear that Jill had. So they're going to have children back to back to back and leave it up to God, even though they have separated themselves from the IBLP. So what also gets me, and what I just don't understand, is why JimBob is so fixated on someone else's family size. He couldn't even control his own big family. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. If he paid a little bit more attention on a smaller group of kids, maybe the things that happened with Josh wouldn't have happened. Have you ever thought about that? Let me know how you guys feel about this part of the chapter in the comment section below. If you've read the book, let me know your thoughts on the entire chapter. If you haven't, just keep following me. I have a playlist dedicated to her memoir called Jill's Book. Check it out. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss anything. Bye for now.